So we're sitting here with Mother Nature in silence, listening to all of the beautiful creatures around us, and the water in front of us, the wind around us, feeling the sunshine on us, feeling the heat from it, the energy that that provides to us. We really have to start thinking of ourselves more like flowers. We can all grow a flower. It's quite simple. You care for it. That's the biggest thing. And you nurture it. And you give it time to grow. We talked earlier this morning about taking time for ourselves, and we live such busy lives as people. Even if you feel like you're someone who is living a pretty easy go life, there's no shortage of events taking place and information coming in and things that all of us are dealing with at all times, and it's really important that we can find 5, 10, 15, 20, 30 minutes, an hour, and just sit and be quiet. We are just like the flower, one of the main things it needs is sunlight. And, we spend a lot of our times indoors, whether it's at work or at home, at school, in our cars even. So if a flower spent all of its time indoors and out of the sunlight, it would be a lot harder for it to grow. It's out of its natural environment. We are natural organic beings, and so we need natural organic light and energy. We need natural organic nourishment from the water, okay? And from the right foods, okay? So if we just think of our bodies and ourselves like simple flowers, and we'd say, what would we do for the flower to cause it to grow up? We would want to do the same things for ourselves. And that's nourish it properly, care for it properly, love it properly. And the whole reason we all enjoy planting a seed and watching it grow is because we know that the end result is something beautiful, and it's something unique, and it's something you worked for. Sounds interesting. Sounds something like what we're all doing, what we're all trying to do with our own selves and our own paths, our own journeys, our own lives, is become the beautiful, blossomed flower that we all know that we are inside, that for whatever reason, for a lot of us, and for most of us, is sometimes not what we see, or not what we feel about ourselves, but we know inside it's there. We know it's there. We know it's there. Each one of us knows it's there. See, you got the wind coming through for confirmation. So a lot of things that we do here, and we'll learn about. So I'm realizing this process is going to be a lot about, is just me really sharing all the information that I have and the knowledge that I have. So...
Hey.
How's it going?
Man, if I step over right here.
Oh, sure. Sorry about that. Excuse me there, we had a passerby. I'm sitting on a trail here. It's one of our favorite spots that we like to come to, me and my family, and we have a nice area that we live in, and we get to enjoy this beautiful water and the scenic woods and things like that. And so this is the spot that we come to. So let's take in this peacefulness. Let's take in this energy. And sorry, I lost my train of thought before, but let's get back to what I was talking about this morning. Was the acts of kindness. Okay, so. Oh, I'm sorry. I did remember my train of thought. This is what happens. So, my purpose here is what I want to do is share kind of like what works for me, what I've been doing. I'm a family man, okay? And I'm a lot of different things, but what I want to do is relate and also show like, a lot of people like have like videos or information, but it's not like you get to kind of follow along with them to see like, hey, this is how I could do it also, and I'm seeing it live happening in person, right? So almost like a reality show almost. So what I feel like the best way for me to communicate is to speak, and what I've been doing a lot of that through written word, but I know it's time for me to speak verbally. So it's easier for me to communicate and have all these thoughts and things come out through a video rather than typing it all. Now, I'm super excited to begin to share my quotes and my writings and things like that. And we'll do some live readings of some of my writings and things. But what I want to do is have like a lot of periodic live videos, and it's just like check-ins, and so where I can check in with you guys and you can check in with me and see where each other's at and make sure we're kind of all on the same page. And if we can all like be on the same page with each other, I think that's the goal. We're all trying to connect and become like a family and a web. And if we can all like be on the same page and kind of connected in the same ways, then magic can happen, and that's the real deal. One of us doing something is amazing. A few of us doing something is great, but a lot of us doing something is really something special. And I believe we can get there through learning from each other, growing with each other, and what I want to do and what I want to try to offer is essentially like an insight into everything that I'm doing and what's working for me, because I believe if it works for me, then it can also work for you. Okay, so the acts of kindness, I just asked, like, did you find yourself being able to provide any acts of kindness today, whether it be for yourself or anybody else, or for Mother Nature, or for life in general? Can you think of one thing? Can you think of two things? Can you think of three things? So I was out and about today, and one of the simplest things you can do is pick up trash as you're walking around. It's everywhere. Okay, so just, one of the main things I think is this world is ours. This world is yours. You want to act like it's your baby, and so if it's your trash, wouldn't you pick it up? Yes, we would. So let's pick it up. Let's pause and reflect here for a moment and just sit and listen to the nature again.
Kind of ran out of dry real estate that direction.
So one of the easiest things we can do is picking up trash. Okay. When I was talking before about one person doing something compared to a group, it does have a difference and an effect, but it has just as powerful an effect, right? Because if you didn't do it, there'd be no effect. Okay. So by doing something, it causes everything we do causes a ripple and an effect, and potentially a shift depending on how big we're talking here. And so picking up a piece of trash as you're walking into a store, walking down the street, or outside of your house, it literally lets life know that, hey, I'm here, I'm aware, I'm listening, I'm doing work, right? That's what we're trying to do. We get caught up in this idea of what is work? Work is a job, work is a career. No. Work is the work we're putting in to ourselves. It's the work we're putting into each other and this planet while we're here and the time we have. So doing things like that. Also, another easy phrase to think of, and it's one of my favorite songs, and I'll share it later, is by Stick Figure called Smiles on Faces. Angels Above Me, another one, but Smiles on Faces. And it's another really, really simple way to think of acts of kindness and what can I do to be a positive person today is, can I put a smile on somebody's face today? And it's pretty easy. It's very easy we all know how to, make someone laugh, or to tell a joke, or to say the right thing, or even if it's just saying hi to somebody, or how are you doing, how's your day been. A lot of times the way I feel like it is, again, we've all been in positions where it feels like no one notices us, right? And so if we can walk around with understanding that and be like, hey, let's not walk by each other and not even acknowledge each other. We all have these things where we walk by and we'll kind of look at each other and then look the other way, right? Why are we doing this? Don't you think life is bringing us together for a reason? So what we're supposed to do is stop being afraid of each other and say, hey, how you doing? Hey, have a great day. Maybe you stop and chit chat and you relate for a moment, okay? When we do this, we're connecting that web. When we walk by each other, we're breaking that web. So I'll ask again, did you do anything today? Any acts of kindness today? Did you help anywhere? Did you help yourself? Maybe you've been feeling low and today you did something for yourself, okay? We can, the number one person we need to be kind to is ourselves. So let's start there. If we're not able to extend ourselves elsewhere, let's start with ourselves and be kind to ourselves. Let's say I love you to ourselves. Let's look in the mirror. Okay, that's one of the best ways to do it. We all kind of can say, oh, I love you. When you look in the mirror, it's like you're looking at somebody, right? So look in the mirror, challenge yourself. Look in your eyes. Look at your heart. Look in your heart with your heart, okay? And say, I love you. I love you for everything that you are, okay? So I just want to do a little check-in, have a little moment to like sit down and have some peace and quiet and share this moment that I'm having right now. So I hope you've enjoyed the peaceful quiet and the water and the birds. I'm going to let it be quiet for a little bit longer, and and then we'll just check in later, guys. I really am excited for all of this and excited to do my part to help, and I hope that you guys can receive it well and take it in and it helps. And I hope that we can connect and build a bridge and a web between each other that can last forever. Love you guys. Sorry guys, I'm a thinker, okay? I'm a dreamer, I'm a thinker. So the way that these are going to work is it's going to be totally like sporadic, and like on the spot like this was. But something I did want to mention also was, I mentioned earlier about the balance numbers and the we'll start with the balance numbers. I don't want to talk, get too ahead of ourselves. So the balance numbers, and it's something that I'll talk about more, and I'll post a little like cheat sheet kind of thing that I made. But it's not all of the numbers, and it's not really. You can look online, like we can all type in numbers into Google, okay? If you see like a number that you're seeing a lot, we all know this, okay? And you can find information about what that maybe is meaning for you. But what I'm talking about is more like life giving you an indication of where you're at. You can hear that. It sounded like a hawk or an eagle or something. That was beautiful. So what I found now that I'm on this path of being like really, really in flow is that it's called being in balance, okay? When you start on your path, you kind of, one of the first things that you end up learning and having to understand is that you need to be in balance. Once you find yourself in balance, that's how you find yourself in flow. And once you find yourself in flow, you're moving with the tides of life, okay? And we're all here on a schedule, okay? And so we want to be hitting the checkpoints of life at the time we're supposed to be hitting them. We want to be where we're supposed to be when we're supposed to be there. The way we do that is by doing the right things. When we do all those things, we do the right things, we find ourselves in balance. And the way that life lets us know that is through what I call confirmations. And they come through many different things, but For instance, when my video earlier played and I was talking and it started and the bell started ringing, okay, things like that. It's saying, hey, here we are. We're all in together here and connected. And this is what the ancestors that we're talking about here and life in general, Mother Nature. Okay, so what you'll find is numbers that come up while you're in the middle of a scenario or an event or an experience, and it indicates something to you. We got another passerby.
Move under. Did you guys, were you able to walk through?
A gentleman said he went that way and that it was all flooded, so he came back. Yeah, so he came back.
We'll probably go halfway in and don't let him shake. Do you know when this tree first fell, I had to be on a step to get over it. I can't believe he goes in there.
Oh, really?
Here, I'll slide right over. But
It's a beautiful dog.
oh, he's fun. He's lab and husky.
Yeah.
That's why he's got blue eyes. He shouldn't have that blue of an eye for a dog, do you think? I know, it's weird. Weird. Let's go, Gus. We'll see how wet we'll get.
Have a good walk.
Thanks.
He's running.
So, for instance, something like that, okay? This is just what I was talking about a minute ago, guys. When we have interactions with people, it's not about ignoring them. Like, you know, we both could have just allowed ourselves to pass each other by without saying a word, and we didn't. We had a little chat, and now we both get to pull that into our hearts and be better people because of it. And in the end of it all, we're gonna remember each other, and we're gonna smile at each other and say, hey, we weren't afraid of each other. We said hi, and we interacted. And hey, sometimes these things build into friendships and long-term like relationships and things. So don't ever be afraid. Actually, just not too long ago, I bumped into a guy. We were walking out of an appointment and got into an elevator, and I had to happen to open my mouth and say, hey, how you doing? Hoping you're having a good day. And he kind of said the same thing and replied and responded very well. Received it very well and responded with a business card for like a psychic reading. You know, that's what he does. So I'm excited to go do that. You know, and this is how life ends up leading you. You just have to do the right things, and you'll find yourself in the right places at the right times. And how you know it's the right times is through those confirmations. And so essentially what I do is let's say I'm out for the day. I'm driving around. All of a sudden I get to where I'm supposed to be. The time will be literally linked up in balance. Balance means it could be a sequence of numbers that are the same, like 1111, or it could be like 1001. Your eyes know what balance is, and it also knows what asymmetrical is. And so if it's like, you know, 1242, that doesn't look balanced to you. You can tell that's off. But if it's 2222, all of a sudden it's like boom, it's balanced. It's making sense. It's fitting together. And so you can like see this. So all throughout my day, and you know, at all times, I'm finding myself in balance. This has been happening for a couple years now. And so I'll be driving around, and every time I stop or come to a light, or my work day is over, or I'm doing something with the kids, or some thought comes to me, or something that, you know, it hits you like it's a meant to be moment, so to speak. What you want to do is look at the time. Just look at the time. Just take it in and see what time it is. And what you're gonna start seeing is that what you want to start seeing is that you're in balance. Now I'll show you the cheat sheet. And there's other ways to read these numbers, okay? If you're moving upwards in a sequence of numbers, 1, 2, 3, 4, we call that moving in the right direction. So let's say you're having a rough week, and then all of a sudden, come Friday, you kind of turn it around, you have a good attitude, and all of a sudden, like, someone gives you a call that you haven't heard from, and all of a sudden, the call comes in, and it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 12:34 in the afternoon. And you go, hey, moving in the right direction. That means you're moving in the right direction. Your relationship with this person is moving in the right direction. Your life's moving in the right direction, okay? If you're moving backwards in a sequence of numbers, 4, 3, 2, 1, it means you're moving towards balance, because 0, or, you know, 0 essentially, 0 point is balance. So here we got a passerby coming again, the lady with the dog here.
I think he likes you.
Yeah.
No, I have 2 cats.
2 cats. Well,
Yeah.
Gus is just going to have to visit
One
you out
is,
here.
one is Finn and one is Tilly.
Are they nice?
Yep. But Finn is the bad boy sometimes, and Finn is the good boy sometimes.
Sort of like anybody you know.
Yeah. Yeah, and Tilly's a good girl.
How old are you?
4.
4?
Yeah.
I think you're probably fun.
He is.
I
Yeah.
think you're probably fun.
Yeah.
Bye.
Have a great day.
Have a great day.
You too.
What was your name?
Mine's Jody.
Oh, I'm Brian. Nice to meet you.
Brian, nice to meet you.
This is CJ
CJ, and you know Gus.
and Gus. Yes.
Yeah, Gus will meet you all the time. I have to go find out what dog hurted him.
You gotta come here again and bring your dog, because I love him so much.
I love dogs and I love this park.
Yes.
Yeah.
This park's pretty fun.
Yeah.
Makes me smile.
Yes, it does. So, you heard my 4-year-old son there, that's CJ. He's with me here. He's been doing awesome, allowing us to sit here and take in the peacefulness and allow me to give some information out. But yeah, so if the sequence of numbers is going downwards towards 0, then it means you're moving towards balance. So again, let's say like, you know, you're kind of just been tripping up over yourself a lot, and you've let's say like you're missing an appointment, or you're late for work, or you're you know, you get to the fast food place and they're closed, you know, and there's nothing else open, right? This is what we feel like when we're out of balance with life. It feels like no matter what we're doing, we're finding ourselves in the wrong places at the wrong time. And you'll see that when you're looking at these numbers, again, you're going to find yourself hitting, those moments are going to hit you like, oh, this is one of those moments. You're going to look at the time and you're going to realize, I'm not in balance. Trying to show you, hey, you're out of balance. So then let's say, you know, again, it's all about reflecting and taking in. So you want to just breathe. Okay? Oh, it's a blue jay right above me right now. Beautiful. Blue jays represent getting through tough times, okay? And it's kind of what we're talking about here. We've all been working through through these tough times, and it's just what I was talking about with these balance numbers here. And so if you're finding yourself out of balance, you know, and then later on it's all about reflecting. You know, if you realize you're out of balance, well, just pause, because again, it's all about a schedule. So if you're out of balance, what do you got to do? If you keep going the same way, you're going to continue to be out of balance. What you want to do is pause. Okay? Find time to just sit and breathe. Allow life to catch up with you, or you to catch up with life, whichever way it needs to be. And then you'll find yourself back in balance. Allow it to get to balance. Let's say it's 3 minutes till it's 9:09. Give yourself 3 minutes. And you'll find that by that 3 minutes and it gets to that 9:09, you're going to be exactly where you need to be. Time to move on. It's all about listening to your instinct, listening to your intuition. That's life's calling. It's your heart's calling, and you listen. Okay. So yeah, I'll post a little cheat sheet about that. And again, if anyone needs or wants any more information about how that works, or like you know, more information on different numbers or things like that, I'd be happy to post more information or talk to you about that. So let's just pause for a moment again. Life is working through us and with us and in us. It flows through us just like the wind blows by us, but it's life is flowing through us. And we're supposed to be like the wind and just guided our entire life like a feather floating in the wind. The resistance that we put up is where we find ourselves having issues and running into problems and finding ourselves out of balance and life feeling like it's against you and hard. And I wanted to talk about this because someone today mentioned that life is unfair. And I had to say, no, it's not. Life is the most fairest game that you can play if you understand how to play it. Okay? The problem is that we have made it hard on ourselves. Life is all about learning lessons and growing. That's the game. So if you're not learning lessons, what is it going to be for you? It's going to be difficult because you have things to learn. That's what we've all signed up for here, to learn lessons, to grow. It's that we don't acknowledge this. We don't acknowledge that we need to grow. We all think we're adults, okay? And that we're mature, and that it's just about having a 9-to-5 job, and that means that you've succeeded at life. That means that all that means is that you've completely wasted a lot of time not thinking about the bigger picture. Okay? So we all have heard this term karma. I don't really like to use it. It is what it is. It's just what life. It's just life's rules. It's the way life works. It's how this whole thing operates, is based on fairness. The whole thing is based on fairness and balance. It's when you're out of balance that you have to learn something so you can grow to put yourself back in balance. Okay? So if you can remain in balance, the lessons become not so, so to speak, like painful to deal with and cause suffering, but they're essentially like, positive. They feel good. They're like when you sign up to learn something that you've always wanted to learn but you never did before, and all of a sudden you get to learn it. That feeling of something new and something valuable. Okay? Something worth value that I'm gaining. Now we're always gaining. Okay? We're always gaining, whether it feels painful or not. But it's when we are it's when we're out of balance, and that is when we get wrapped up in this idea that this place is against us. Okay, this place does nothing but work for us. We are here because of life. We are alive because of life, and we wake up every day because of life. We have seconds and millions and thirds and fourths and fifths and hundreds and millions and 1,000 chances, right? Because of life. Okay, it is literally only working in our favor and in our benefit to try to help us. We are the ones that make it harder on ourselves. And let me ask you, if you were to take all the human beings off the planet, okay, what is so unfair about life? It just is what it is, isn't it? Okay? It just is what it is. It's when you put the people and the things here and the systems that we're in, that all of a sudden it becomes hard. We make it harder on ourselves. And again, this is what we need to stop doing, and we need to make it easy on ourselves. One of the simplest terms I remember from working in welding shops was work smarter, not harder. Okay? So if we're walking back and forth doing something a million times and we can figure out a way to do it one time, why would we continue to do it a million times, right? And this can go right into our multiple lives that we continue to have, because again, that's a giant cycle we have. It's like the Groundhog Day effect, where we have to come back to life and do it all over again and repeat and repeat and repeat, because we want to continue to make the same mistakes. It's about breaking these cycles and saying, I'm not doing that anymore. That's how we grow. Okay, so let's pause. So the last thing I wanted to talk about was, I mentioned earlier, was about mirror images. So there's apps you can download. Just search mirror image into your your Play Store or whatever, and what you can do is take an image and it mirror affects it. And it's not altering the image and changing it. What it's doing is it's putting it through a mirror effect, essentially. So what is revealed within that is still the image, okay? And this is what you need to understand. The way I got onto this was I was watching something that kind of revealed about Leonardo da Vinci kind of doing something like this with his paintings. And so I started looking at his paintings and mirroring them, and there's all kinds of crazy information and pictures and scenes and beings and creatures and stories that you can kind of read through within the pictures. So then I started thinking, well, if that's the case, then I wonder if the pictures I'm taking do the same thing. And so I started mirror imaging the pictures I was taking and finding all kinds of incredible images and stunning things. And what this is like, let's say I take a picture right now of the image you're looking at and I mirror it. What we'll see is you're going to see beings, you're going to see faces, you're going to see animals, you're going to see things that we would consider maybe aliens or things like that. Or things with horns that we might consider quote-unquote devils, even though that's not the case, and we're not going to get into that right now. But again, through time, we will get there, and we'll cross that bridge. So you get all kinds of really interesting things that come through these mirror images, and it can really, what it does is tell you a story about the picture that without someone having to tell you anything about it, and something that you never would have even known or seen had you not mirrored it. And so what you can do is you kind of mirror the image and you stretch it, and you stretch it, and you stretch it. And as you stretch it, it opens up like a book. And it's like a moving image, like when you used to do a flip book as you were a kid. And so it becomes like a moving picture. And you can see it evolve and transform and what is really within the picture and in the energy field. Literally what you captured, the living spiritual realm you captured in the picture, you can see it. And it's all, again, confirmations and signs and messages for you to understand of what they are. And again, through time and explanation, I'll help get that information across. But again, if you want any more information about that, comment or let me know, and I will be happy to speak to you about that, because it's super awesome. And like I said, what I'm going to do is I posted a couple pictures of the flowers that I took earlier. So what I'm going to do is, now that you guys see what the regular image looks like, I'm going to go ahead and mirror one of them later, and I'll post a couple of the mirrored images so you can see what I'm talking about, and you'll see like what I'm saying. So now I took those pictures just out here on our walk with my son, and so I'm hoping to see, and what I'm sure we'll see is some really cool, positive, happy type of images within those pictures. So you can also do this with people. Like, you can take an image of a picture of a person, whether it be yourself or anybody else, and it's like you can mirror the image, and it shows you something. It tells you something about the person or the place that they were in. I did this with an old picture of my wife. I took a picture of her when she was a kid and mirrored it, and you can see like she ended up having like bug antennas or something that came out of her head, and it just kind of showed like this little kid who is this really free thinker, this really adventure seeker. And so it was really cool to see that. So let's pause on that. I'm going to close out here. We're going to get back to our day here. I just wanted to check in with everybody. But this is what it's all about, guys. You got to take time for yourselves. You got to just sit down and reflect. We are so busy with things. We fill our schedule and our calendars up with things. We just need to clear those out, live in the moment, and just feel it and go with the flow. All right? So let's pause, and then we'll close out here. Thank you guys for tuning in and listening and being a part of this. Love you guys. And once again, let's say our thanks, because like I was going to say earlier, as I was thinking, is it's not just in the morning and it's not just at night. Okay, it's all throughout the day, because things are happening all throughout the day, so we want to say thank you all throughout the day. Okay, so it's called checking in. So right now is the perfect time to do that. So let's say thank you for our life. Thank you for our beautiful day today. Thank you for us being able to connect. Thank you for our breath. Thank you for our health. Thank you for our friends. Thank you for our family. Thank you for all the nourishment for us to be able to survive. Okay, thank you for the love, the guidance, the instruction, the kindness, the caring, the nurturing, okay? All from Mother Nature, all from life, all from our ancestors who are guiding us, okay? This is a group effort, guys, okay? Our ancestors are with us, okay? They're with us right now. They're listening to us speak, okay? They're saying, good job, guys. Good job, guys. You know why? Because it's hard for them to have a voice, you know, in the place that they're in right now. And so what we can do is listen to the guidance and speak for them and speak for ourselves, because we understand what the message that needs to come through is, and that's what my job here is to do, is to pull that through and help deliver that. So let's say thanks for all the understanding that is being provided at this time in life. Okay, we are all changing and we're being forced to deal with issues in life and ourselves. Otherwise, you know what the alternative is, right? And all of us are fighting not a physical fight. We're fighting a spiritual fight for ourselves and our hearts and our lives and each other and our ancestors and our descendants in this whole entire thing that we call life, this never-ending, beautiful, beautiful thing that we call life. It's what we make it. It's one of the simplest quotes out there. It's what you make it. And we've made it this thing that we have convinced ourselves that we're okay with, but inside we know, it's not supposed to be the way that it is. It's supposed to be the way that it feels inside. And the way that it feels inside is love, peace, friendship, kindness, community, light, warmth, safety, and a place where all of your dreams can, do, and will come true, right? And it's like, you could argue that, someone could argue, I already have that. Nah, well, you're lying to yourself, because the rest of us don't have that. And it's not about one of us. It's about all of us. Okay? We can't honestly, in our hearts, feel okay with having it all while knowing the rest of us have nothing. No matter how much of a, how much you think that you would feel okay with that. It's not the case. It doesn't work that way. Because when it comes down to it, we are all products of nature. And nature is based on the truth. Okay? And the truth is based on love. Okay? And so there would be this collision, and that's what we're dealing with right now. We're dealing with a collision of the people right now because of the different, and I don't like to use the word, but quote unquote classes that we have been divided into based on money, race, age, gender, and all kinds of other things that continue to divide us. So we need to work on coming together. We need to work on coming together. So we're like, I'm gonna say hi, CJ.
Hi.
So CJ is amazing. He's one of the brightest boys that I know. So let's just ask CJ. CJ, what are you grateful for today?
I'm grateful for my family. I'm grateful for this Johnson Park, and I'm grateful for playing at Johnson Park, and I'm grateful for everyone.
So, coming straight from a child's heart, it's very simple, okay? This is what we're trying to get at. We try to overcomplicate things, and it's about being just grateful for what we have. Grateful for each other, and grateful for what we're doing. And so, again, guys, I'm going to try to teach a lot of things, and I'm going to learn a lot of things in this process, but I'm not just a writer. I'm not just a photographer or a guy who likes music or a guy who thinks he knows a lot, you know. I'm a guy who's been on a path for a while now, and I've been really working my butt off, and life is letting me know that it's time to speak and to help others through your example. Okay, so that's what I'm going to try to do. And I'm going to share all aspects of my life, and that includes my family. Okay, and so we all have families in one way or another, and a lot of us have children. And so again, I can offer advice and techniques and things that I'm doing to help cope with, deal with, understand what it means to be a parent, or to raise a child, or to be in a family. So I'm excited for all those things. I'm excited for this, guys. Let's have a great rest of our afternoon. Let's just keep saying thank you and keeping the light around us. The more that we keep having these conversations, everything else is going to fall down around us. It doesn't need to be there. Everything else will continue to rise that needs to be there. And we're going to find ourselves, where we thought we never could be, or we thought it was going to be impossible, or we thought it was going to be something that was going to be a catastrophic, ending to get there. Maybe it doesn't have to be. Maybe, again, nature is what it is, right? We're the ones causing the problems or causing the healing. So if we can cause the healing, maybe we can move on to this next chapter of our lives in a peaceful manner instead of an angry and violent one. So let's focus on the light. Let's focus on continuing to communicate with each other, telling each other I love you, being there to support each other, giving each other hugs and kisses and love. All right? We're all brothers and sisters. All right? Let's do it. Also, guys, hey, look, a duck just flew up. Okay? As I said that. So that's a sign to me. That was life. That was Mother coming in to say, hey, here I am. Here's a sign. And what do we want to do with that? We want to look up what duck means, right? So what I'm going to do later in my free time is go on to the old Googles, and I'm going to search duck spiritual meaning. And you'll find all kinds of information about what that means. And I'll think about back here at this moment when I was speaking in here with my son, and I'll tie it into what it all means for me. And again, it helps me move forward. So keep your eyes out for the signs and the confirmations and everything else that we talked about here, guys. I love you, and we'll chat soon.